I think, I mean, for the Olympia this year, I mean, the plan is the same, is to just keep stepping it up a notch, you know, and Melvin has gotten better at every show, and we kind of got the formula down, and, you know, every show you learn a little bit something else. And so, you know, this year I think, you know, he's gotten better. Last year at the Olympia and this year at the Arnold, he was just that much more better. And I think at the Olympia, he's going to be the best we've seen him yet. The cool thing about it is, too, that a lot of people, I think, you know, look at Melvin as like the structural guy, you know, like comparing to Flex, and they don't think that, you know, those guys can get bigger, but Melvin's gotten bigger every year. And this year, we got him on the scale at about, you know, 278 upstairs. So, so I think he's going to surprise some people this year.
I'm just ready to go. I just do what I'm told, and everything in the off season, I was still able to kind of eat what I wanted, but at the same time keep it like 60-40. Out of the 6 meals, I got to have 4, you know, clean ones, and then if I wanted to have some pizza, if I wanted to have a little something to eat on the side, I could do that. The only day I was allowed to have, yeah, said pizza, man. In the off season, I think that it made a big change on me. It's kind of I'm kind of freaking out about it. Being this heavy and not being fat. You know, the first time I was at 274, that was the heaviest I've ever been, and being able to surpass that with a better condition was kind of exciting. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where I'm going to end up at the Olympia.
And I think the key too is a lot of guys think, you know, they go either or. They either eat too clean in the off season and then their body adapts so quickly that it just comes right back around, or they think they've got to eat nothing but junk food and they go crazy. Then they put on weight, but then it comes off so fast because it's not quality muscle. I think the key is finding that happy in between, eating clean, making sure that you've got all your quality proteins in and stuff like that, which is what we've done with Melvin. And then on top of that, everything that he takes in extra is just, you know, kind of icing on the cake. And I mean, that's what's worked for Ronnie. That's what's worked for, you know, that's what worked for Kim when she was competing, and that's what's working for Melvin. And I think this year, I think this will be the year. You know, we've you know, improved his conditioning every year, and Melvin has kind of really stepped up to the plate. And we all know that, you know, everybody's waiting to see Melvin when he turns around, and that's what the judges want to see. And every year the lines have come in a little bit deeper, a little bit higher, a little bit farther across. And this year I think will be the time when the lines and the glutes are probably the best that they've ever been, with an additional maybe 8-9 pounds, legitimately 8 or 9 pounds of extra muscle. So I think it's going to be a good year this year. And I look for Melvin to stir up some stuff. I mean, his posing is a little shitty, and he really needs to kind of work on it a little bit. And I've tried to show him some of my breakdancing moves, and so he's working on it. Good.
Everybody's been giving me positive feedback. I kind of stay covered up every once in a while. I let my arms show, but when I mention the, you know, the weight, it's like, you know, that's kind of heavy for you, because people are not used to seeing or hearing that I'm over 270, and it's, oh, it's kind of heavy for you, but they don't understand when they see it. You know, tonight they'll probably get a feel for kind of where I'm going to be at, because they're probably thinking 270 kind of fat, but I'm not. So that's our intent. So it's kind of.
I think it's, you know, I mean, I think people are going to be surprised, because a lot of people get hung up on numbers. And they think certain people have to be, you know, they gauge it on what they weigh on stage, and they gauge that through their whole entire career. And I mean, if you look at Ronnie, you know, Ronnie's went from, you know, 260 on stage to 290 on stage to, you know, I mean, it just totally depends on, you know, what direction, you know, everybody goes. And I mean, Melvin has been on a steady movement every show, and we never ever intended to try to jump him 30 pounds in a year. And when I got with Melvin, I told him from the get-go, dude, this is a 3-year plan, and in 3 years, we're going to be setting some serious damage on stage. I mean, we're gonna be wreaking havoc. Yeah,
it's been good. I mean, even today, as I go to the gym, I go to different gyms. Sometimes people walk up to me and they go, "Man, they're just like, for some reason, just not getting that magazine that had all of us on stage at the Arnold." They're going, "Dude, I mean, when I saw the TV, it's different than seeing everybody in the still across the board, because, you know, usually the film is going back and forth when they're watching it." So this guy comes and he goes, "Man," he goes, "you know, just because I know you, I'm not gonna, I always try to like be subjective and cut everybody's head off." He goes, "Man, you was giving Dexter a run." He said, "What happened?" I go, "You know what? You know, I think the judges kind of holding my reins a little bit and just kind of inching me forward. But then, you know, there's going to be a time where Chad just told me, he goes, there's going to be a time they're not going to be the dining." And I'm looking forward to that time where I just break the chain and I can just, they let me go.
And we know what the judges want. I mean, judges want to see him a little bit bigger, and a little bit sharper through the glutes. And he's inched that forward every single time. And eventually he's going to walk out on stage, which will probably be this year at the Olympia, and the judges are going to go, okay, finally, that's what we want to see. No.
I will never be able to keep up with him.
Nobody needs to play the size
No
game.
way.
You know? I mean, anybody that's going to play the size game to compete with Ronnie is crazy. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you know, what they need to do is fill out their own physique. Don't chase Ronnie, because Ronnie's a freak. You're not ever going to catch Ronnie.
No.
Try to fill out your physique to battle with those guys, and that's the key. I mean, that's what, you know, I mean, that's what Jay's trying to do, that's what Melvin's trying to do, I mean, that's what Gustavo's doing, you know, I mean, Victor's doing, that's what Gunter's doing. They're all trying to make themselves the best that they can be. And I think it's some of the lower, you know, placing guys, you know, the level B guys or whatever, that think that, man, they got to get as big as they can possibly get, because that's what I've got to do to battle with those guys, and it's not working for them.
No.
In the off season, you know, I mean, it's basically setting up, you know, phase 1, phase 2. We take a nice break, let everything, you know, run, and then all of a sudden we go to phase 1, which is kind of increasing the protein and kind of changing things around a little bit. Get the weight up, get the eating back on schedule from the rest, from the break. Get his strength and weight to a certain point, then switch gears into phase 2, which will take his weight up to the highest point. And that's when we really kind of really start focusing on protein, making sure that, you know, we got the quality proteins in, and then whatever's on top that he can eat on top of that, that's good. But we got to make sure that there's a set, you know, place. His protein this year was like 450 to 500, you know, throughout the day, steak, you know, chicken, turkey, and then on top of that, every once in a while, some cheesecakes and pizza. But the key is making sure that you get all that quality stuff in first.
So far, the Arnold was the best. And I had, when Ronnie Coleman came in the room, Ronnie don't never say anything. Ronnie just, yeah, you look good, you know, and then he'll walk out. This time, he came back to my room 3 times to make sure, I guess it didn't change. He came back at 1 hour on top of hour. Came back, how you doing? Took off my shirt. He goes, man, I don't know what Chad did, man, but I ain't never seen you look like that. He walked out. An hour later, he came back again to make sure it didn't like go anywhere. It was kind of funny. He was like, "Yeah, you're doing good, man. Whatever you're doing, just ride it out." He's never been unhonest with me, and that's what's good about people don't understand about Ronnie. He doesn't lie. He'll tell you straight to your face what he thinks. I mean, even one year I was so bad. He said, "Do 3 hours of cardio." He goes, "Because I was behind, and everybody else told him I looked good." He was like, "Well, if I was you, I'd do 3 hours of cardio." Serious, and I ended up doing it, and I ended up looking better, but you know. And I finally got a smile out of Chad, too. The day before the show, he's like, "You ready to go?" And walked out. So I was like, yeah, I was all fired up, you know, because you don't, it's good that, you know, he's like that. He's very level. You know, when if you get a smile out of him and he tell you look good, I mean, that's saying something. Because usually he'd, okay, just got to change some things and walk out the door. Straight faced, no smile, no emotion. You're like, okay, so what does he really think? He won't tell you. Everybody complains about that. They go, "Kim, what is he saying?" Yeah.
I think the Olympia this year is going to be a battle. I think a lot of guys have creeped forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you know, Jay's hungry, Gunter's hungry, Victor's hungry, Gustavo's hungry, Dexter's in.
Dexter,
I mean, everybody wants it. You know, I mean, everybody wants to be in that group. You know.
I questioned that myself. Even me and my wife had a long discussion. As long as I've known Chad, even when I thought I could have been with him, bar none, I should have got with him and stayed with him when I got my pro card. Treats one competitor different than the other. I mean, I watch everybody. He goes from one room to the next. Everybody gets the same amount of attention. Ronnie gets the same treatment there. I mean, to the point where you call Chad, he might not call you back for a week. And then it's like, you know, hey, Ronnie, hey, man, I ain't talked to him in a week either. He's the same with everybody across everybody gets the same treatment, and everybody's comfortable with that. That's why no one complains. You know, and that's a good thing.
And that's the key, is making sure that I do whatever I can do to get them all on stage. And I have no control over what the judges are going to do. But my job is to make sure that Ronnie and, you know, Gunter and Victor and Melvin are in the best shape of their life at this year's Olympia, so that they can all have a fair shot at battling and, you know, let the outcome, you know, be. Because I want to see my work displayed on stage at the very best that I can possibly, you know, get the athletes. That's, you know, that's my job, and that's where I get all the pleasure out of it. And my job is when they walk out on stage and I know that they're 110% on the money, my job is over at that point. Done. Then the guy's got to get on stage and battle.